I became a travel advisor because I love planning vacations, and it was a hobby. I loved helping my friends and family. I loved planning trips, even if I knew wasn't going to end up taking them. And it wasn't until I became a travel advisor that the trajectory of my life totally changed from, just wanting to do this on the side to building this as my career to starting my own travel agency, and the way that has changed my world around me, the way that has led me to understand myself. Becoming an entrepreneur has led me down a personal development journey that I could never have expected. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing more about why I became a travel advisor, how it changed my life, and what to expect if this is something that you're looking to do in the future.
Showcase suggestions, where I share travel tips and lists of 5 to help make traveling with kids a little easier.
Hi, my name's Christina, and I'm the owner of Showcase the World Travel, where I help busy families plan seamless, stress-free vacations to create lifelong memories. But before I built my own travel agency, before I was designing epic European itineraries or helping families experience the magic of Disney, I was in a completely different world. I was working in tech, I was managing events, and I was part of a sales operations team for a fast-paced digital marketing software company. I never planned on becoming a travel advisor, but looking back, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. At my tech job, I was constantly organizing events and managing travel for the sales team. And whenever someone needed recommendations, where to go, what to do, how to make the most of their trip, they turned to me. I loved helping, and soon I found myself planning trips for my coworkers in my spare time. Now, spare time I'm going to use very lightly because I was working 89 hours a week, traveling to marketing events, hosting sales kickoffs, creating trainings for our sales team. And so I really didn't have a ton of time to research destinations, book hotels, and put together itineraries just for fun. But I did because it was my release. It was my stress. So my husband, my now husband, he wasn't my husband at the time, but he turned to me one night when I was on my computer at 2:00 in the morning. He looked at me and said, "There has to be a way you can get paid to do this." And that question completely changed my life. I started researching and applied to every Disney-focused travel agency I could find because it was the only thing that I knew. I listened to Disney podcasts because I loved it so much, and I knew that my favorite podcast was run by a travel agency owner. But I also knew that they didn't take travel agents that didn't have experience. So I did some research and I applied to every Disney-focused travel agency that I could find that took new agents without experiences. I was obsessed with Disney, so I felt like it was the perfect fit. I signed on as an independent contractor for the first agency that called me back because I was eager to turn my passion into something real. But as much as I love Disney, I realized I wanted to do more. I wanted to inspire families to go beyond the theme parks because I had that moment myself, standing at Epcot, wandering through the pavilions, engaging with the international cast members. I knew there was an entire world out there just waiting to be explored. And I knew I wanted to explore that. And so for me, travel was more than just Disney. And the people I was encountering in that Disney space just wanted to do Disney again and again and again. And that wasn't me. I wanted to do Disney, but I also wanted to do so much more. But I did sign on to that first agency that called me back. And that's probably one of the biggest mistakes. I don't want to call it a big mistake because it led me to where I am now. So I totally value it and I totally am grateful for that experience I had. But if I had to give a piece of advice for new advisors, it would be about understanding what you're looking for out of this experience. Although it 100% might change, it changed for me, and aligning what you want to do with your agency and understanding your core values and their core values, right? So that's probably one of the biggest mistakes I would say that new travel advisors make, but I can save you some time on some other hard lessons that I learned with my free guide, 10 mistakes that new travel advisors make, the things that I wish I had known when I was first starting out. And not just me, but also my peers. And I now also own, in addition to Showcase the World, which is the Showcase the World's YouTube channel. So I want to make sure that I honor that. That's where I am now, and that's my baby. I also own Sea Pinnacle Travel, which is a luxury focused travel agency, and I own Magic Made Simple, which is a email template and coaching business for travel advisors. I have a team of about 10 agents between my two agencies, and I've coached hundreds of other agents through Magic Made Simple. And so not only my mistakes, but mistakes that they make that I've coached them through are all in this guide. So I'm going to share that, how to grab that at the end of this video. So with my background in tech and my experience at that digital marketing platform, I saw opportunities to improve the way things were done, things that we weren't necessarily talking about as a travel industry at the time. I was diving into what digital marketing gurus like Amy Porterfield and James Wedmore and Jenna Kutcher were doing. I was listening to their podcasts, and they weren't things that I was seeing being done in the travel industry. Things that I was doing for my sales team, training my sales team on, doing our kickoffs, doing our email automation, I wasn't seeing being done in the travel industry. And I wanted to help the agency I was working for write a blog, set up email automation, create training for new advisors. And every time I tried, I was met with the same response. This is how we've always done it. So I knew that my experience in training, automation, and marketing, I could create something different. I can do something different. And so I started mapping out my 5-year plan that would allow me to leave my agency, leave my tech job, and launch my own travel business. But the universe had other plans. I lost my job at the tech company before I was ready, and suddenly my 5-year plan turned into a right now plan. And I had two choices: go back to another corporate job or take a risk and go all in. And I chose to bet on myself. And let me tell you, becoming an entrepreneur is one of the most vulnerable things that you can do. And I wasn't just becoming an entrepreneur, I was also becoming a parent. And doing both in the same year led me on a personal development journey I would never have expected. I'd always thought that being a successful entrepreneur meant having all the answers, being in control, and working harder than everyone else. But when I started working with coaches, I discovered something completely different. Mindset work, personal development, and business growth all go hand in hand. The tools I learned didn't just help my business, they helped me navigate life. And they gave me the resilience that I built in COVID. I started Showcase the World in September 2019. So my first year was 2020, where the entire travel industry came to a complete halt. And it wasn't like the restaurant industry where we could adapt and change to takeout. Our income completely stopped. We make commission and we don't earn commission until after travel has happened. So with people not traveling, it completely changed everything, right? What I expected to be a tough year, starting a business and investing in a business and probably not reaching any profit, turned into a tough 2-3 years because we had this shutdown. 2021 was the buildup, and then I had already invested a lot. So, 2022 was getting back on my feet, paying back a lot of those loans. So there wasn't as much growth and profitability that I had wanted to. But why I'm sharing that is because that resilience that I learned in COVID, the tears that I shed in COVID as a travel agency owner, gave me the strength to endure 3 unsuccessful years of IVF. And so those experiences forced me to confront so many things I'd been avoiding. The way that I overworked to distract myself, the pressure I put on myself to always perform, the belief that something was wrong with me. Finally, that led to an ADHD diagnosis. I found out there was something that made me unlike other people, made my brain unlike other people, made me be able to hyper-focus, but also led me into ADHD freeze. And so for the first time in my life, things started to make sense. And instead of blaming myself for my struggles, I was able to give myself grace. And now I get to see that transformation in my team. And I get to watch my advisors go from feeling unsure, overwhelmed, and scattered to gaining confidence, finding their focus, and growing as business owners and as women. And that's why I'm so glad I took this path, because it's not just about travel. It's about growth, resilience, and creating a life that actually works for you. That's something that when I'm coaching new advisors, I see all the time. They see someone else who has a societal definition of success, and they want to be like that person. And they don't actually look at what does success mean to them. What are the hours they want to work? What is the amount they want to make? Because it might not be replacing their corporate salary. It might just be, covering their family vacations. So success means something different to everyone. And to me, it means, working 20 to 30 hours a week so that I'm able to be the best mom that I'm able to be, because I do have one daughter. She was result of fertility treatments, not IVF. We didn't get that far for her. But because of those 3 unsuccessful years of IVF, I want to spend as much time with the one child that I do have. And so for me, it's about building a business that sustains my priorities of traveling with my daughter, of being able to be present, be a part of the parent-teacher organization, right? So the amount of hours I work is more important to me than the amount of income that I have coming in. What I spend my time on, I want to spend 80% of my time on CEO level activities like creating content and setting strategy and vision. I don't want to be spending a ton of time on booking transfers. So I have a client care coordinator who helps me with those things. And I hire my team to support me in the business that I want to create and the life that I want to create. And that's something so many travel advisors don't necessarily look at. They look at what is their host agency or their agency seeing is success. It's that sales number, right? So I want to be that sales number. I want to do this TikTok thing because someone is being successful that way, even if it's not something that lights you up. And so what I really think is important and why I wanted to share my story and how it changed my life is because if you're looking to become a travel advisor, it's really important to understand what you're looking to get out of it so that you know the type of business you want to create to support the type of life you want to create so that you can build the systems and the business to support that. So if you're thinking about becoming a travel advisor, not just as a hobby, but as a real career, the most important trait you need is self-awareness. You have to be prepared to be vulnerable. You have to be open to the unexpected, and you have to be willing to invest in yourself because your business will only grow as much as you do. It's not only easy, but it's one of the most rewarding things you can do. So if you're ready to take the first step, download my free guide, 10 Mistakes Travel Advisors Make. It's packed with insights to help you avoid the biggest pitfalls and start strong. If you're looking for a community of like-minded travel advisors, people who are serious about building a real business, I'd love to have you on my team. Check the link in the description to download the guide and learn more about joining us at Showcase the World Travel, which specializes in theme park vacations, busy families, or Sea Pinnacle, where we're looking for expertise in different areas. We're currently looking for a cruise expert, we're looking for a Caribbean expert, but whatever you're passionate about, we can definitely find a place on our team of experts for you. Or if you're at a host agency or an agency where you feel like you have a really good fit, then we would love to see how we can support you with Magic Made Simple. So that one guide is going to give you information on all of those different pathways if you download it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. This was really vulnerable for me. So if this video resonated with you, please hit like, please subscribe, please share with somebody that you think would make a really good travel advisor. And let me know in the comments, what's the one dream that you're ready to finally go after? Until next time, don't forget to take a break from the busy and start designing a business and a life that you love.
Need help planning your next family vacation? Visit us at showcasetheworld.com to request a quote or schedule a free vacation consultation. Want more great travel tips? You'll find those there too.